Hello everyone, this is another update for Forsaken Legends. Sorry it's been a little bit. We've been working on a lot of things behind the scenes and we're finally ready to show off what we've been working on. We've got a little bit of a change of direction with the underlying tech that's running the game. We were on a voxel engine, and after a lot of thought and deliberation here we decided to move over to a standard terrain solution. Mainly because we've decided to go into a massively persistent online world. So we're going to be able to have thousands of players all connected on the same server, tens of thousands, really it's unlimited, um, using some new technology that we're going to be talking about more in another video very soon here, that allows us to have, I mean, pretty much basically endless, right, Kyle?
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean it is endless,
yeah.
infinite in all directions. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with the number of players that we can have connected to one server. So before we were going to have to split off, a lot of games do where they have U.S. East server 1 through 10, or U.S. Central server. So now what we can do is we could actually have like one U.S. East server and have massive amounts of players connect to that one endless world, um, instead of having to break it up into like 30, 50 servers or whatever. That'll help make the game world feel more alive because the game world will actually persist even if there's no players online. So I'll dig into a little more when we go into the monsters here, but basically the world will be alive, and for lack of a better term. Um, moving away from voxels was a hard decision because I love digging into the ground and building things, but um, with the solution that we have here, the only thing that we'll be messing out on is digging into the ground. As far as building on top of the ground, the whole construction system, everything like that will still be intact. It's literally just digging a hole that we won't be able to do. So we felt that all the additional features that come along with moving to this new system far outweigh the ability just to dig into the ground. I
For sure.
explained that pretty good.
Yeah, you nailed it.
The new environment here, just take a little look around here. It's literally endless. So two players could run, if he's running that way and I run this way, we could run forever until we run out of, what is it, like decimal points or whatever that
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
crashes the server.
We're
Uh,
limited to floating point precision, I guess.
yeah. Other than that, the two players can go in opposite directions and have a completely different experience. Kyle could travel 3 hours one direction and build up his base in a biome that he finds that he loves. I could travel 10 hours in another direction and set up my own base. And these bases in this world would continue to persist even if no one was around. Um, so we've hooked into Playway water for our water system now. It's a beautiful water asset for Unity. So you can see you got half, the screen effects here. You can see half underwater, half above. It just looks really good. And we can tie the wave system into our weather. So when we trigger a storm or something like that, our bodies of water can react to that and actually look like a storm. So the environment can be much more engaging to the player to make you feel like you're right there in the world. Um, you want to have a little chat about the imposter system because I'm sure you can explain it a lot better than I can.
Yeah, sure. So we aren't actually using true LODs. We are rendering things off in the distance with a separate camera that only needs to be updated when our player has changed so much. So we can we can fall back to basically just a two-dimensional plane of any of these trees or whatever object we want. We'll be using it for our structures as well to basically render, every fifth frame, every 10th frame, but it just allows us to not have to update all of the objects in the scene every single frame, which gives us some really good performance even with fairly dense forests.
Definitely. So we could have something like you're looking up on a mountain, you're looking down into a valley, and you see 100 different players' bases, and there'd be no performance impact really on that at all.
Yeah, very negligible at least.
Right. Awesome. While we're talking about the building system, so basically what we have in mind for that is, so let's say I was wandering around the world and I came across this nice place by the water here, and I decided that this is where I want my base to be. So we're gonna come up with some sort of a marker system. Um, a, a random storm here. You want to make it sunny again so that we don't
Oh
have
yeah, yeah,
otherwise the rain noise might
totally.
be a little much. you can kind of see the dynamic weather system here. The imposter system looks great even with the fog and all of the weather systems.
Should be transitioning back now.
Cool. So, if this is the plot of land that I would want, we'll have a marker system so I could come, place it down, and then you would see like a circle radius around where, you're allowed to build, and no other player would be able to build on that land. And I'm sure we're going to have to come up with some sort of a decay system, so if a player takes a plot of land and they don't come back for a year or whatever, that land would be reopened up.
That is one main benefit of having a fully procedural world, though, is if you're having problems finding some place to build, keep moving.
Right. Walk another 5 minutes in another direction and you'll have another perfect spot that you can claim as your own.
Yep. Never before seen.
Yeah. We also plan on having different kind of like quadrants of the map for PvP, PvE, so we can mix all of that type of gameplay into one server, and players will be able to choose what type of experience they want to have. Let's see. Just looking at my notes. So if we see this orc warrior wandering around here, you can see some of the simple behavior that Kyle's put in already. We're going to have other abilities for them to patrol back and forth between different points of interest. And since we're in a persistent world, we can actually program these warriors, or any monster for that matter, any mob, to live basically their own life. So they can have a food hunger cycle. They could have an energy type level. So if they have full energy, they could perform this action. Or if they're hungry, they can go find something to kill and eat. If they see somebody walking by that they're not friends with, they can go attack them. If you have a pack of wolves, you can have the pack of wolves go feeding together, that sort of a thing. So the whole world can be completely dynamic with this, with the AI, to where a player could just be watching and see, a pack of wolves go and attack a deer, or if you get too close to them, they could chase you down. The type of interaction that you could have would be different every time you meet a new mob. They can also level up, so if they're killing deer, for example, as a wolf, they can level up, grow stronger. So the next time you see that wolf, they might be 5 levels higher, harder to kill. They could drop better loot, all that sort of thing.
There will probably be some instances where packs of certain mobs end up dominating an area or an entire biome and destroying everything else, and it just becomes sort of a wolf den.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. I mean, the kind of instances that you could walk up on are just so dynamic that you might have to bring in 5 to 10 friends just to take down this pack of wolves that's been, because if that part of the world hasn't been seen by players for a month even, if it's some random spot,
Yep.
Who knows what could be happening there.
Yeah, for sure.
So you want to go ahead and see if we can take this guy down?
Oh boy.
I'll heal you. We were testing this a little bit ago and we forgot to increase our level, so we were level 1 trying to fight a level 50 and we kept getting schooled repeatedly. Did you drop anything good? Test
Nope.
of lost souls. Wow.
That's some bad RNG right there.
It has some added benefit of plus 0 dodge.
Wow. That's like a 0% quality. That's unlucky.
Yeah. I guess we didn't touch on the pathfinding, but the pathfinding works really well now. The monsters will actually go around a tree instead of through it. They were little hackers before in my last video, so they'll actually play by the rules now. I guess the last thing I want to cover is just for you guys to go and get signed up on our forums. The link is in the first post. I'll post it under this video as well. The way we've hooked up this game with the authentication is that it uses our forum to authenticate access into the game. So anyone that has a forum account will be able to take part in the pre-launch type thing that we're planning on doing. I can't give an exact date yet, but very soon here. We're working hard on this every day. I know we haven't been posting for the past few days, but we work on this nonstop. This is what we do. So things are moving along really well. The next system that Kyle's going to be tackling is the building system. So we'll have some awesome videos around building your forts and the art style that we're going around for that. Hopefully within probably still this week at some point. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think the end of the week we'll probably be able to release some new video with some information about that. It's probably some preview
Yeah.
gameplay.
Sounds good. See the bushes move around in the wind now. The trees will do the same thing. So trying to make the world feel alive as much as we possibly can. I think it's starting to look really nice.
Completely agree.
All right. Well, we will talk to you guys soon. Thanks.